What's up guys, Vitaly here, and today I'm discussing something that is probably ruining all our lives, social media. Just kidding, or am I? So in this video we are going to explore 5 mind-blowing ways social media is literally rewiring our brains. Alright, first up, dopamine. You have probably heard of it, but here's the quick refresher. Dopamine is often called the feel-good neurotransmitter. It's what makes you feel great when you eat chocolate or get a promotion. But here's where it gets interesting. Every time you get a like, comment, or even a notification, your brain releases a little burst of dopamine. But here's the kicker. Your brain starts to crave these little dopamine hits. It's like, hey, that felt good, let's do it again. Before you know it, you are all caught in what scientists call reward cycle. Fun fact, these are the same mechanisms that can lead to addictions to things like gambling or junk food. And just like that, you might find yourself reaching for your phone without even realizing it. Next up, let's talk about decreasing attention spans. You know that feeling when you sit down to work on a task and after a few minutes you're itching to check your phone? Yeah, me too. And it's not just you being lazy, although sometimes, let's be honest, it is. It's your brain adapting to the fast-paced world of social media. And here's the deal. Our brains are incredibly adaptable. When we constantly switch between apps, scroll through endless feeds, and jump from one piece of content to another, our brain adapts to this environment. It's like we are training our brains to be gold medalists in the multitasking. But here is where it gets tricky. While we might think we are getting better at handling multiple tasks at once, what is really happening is that our ability to focus deeply on one task gets worse. A study from the University of California found that it takes an average of 23 minutes and 15 seconds to fully regain your focus after an interruption. So every time you check that notification, you are essentially resetting that clock. No wonder I can't seem to finish my writing scripts in one sitting. Now let's chat about how social media is changing the way we remember and process information. Think about it. How many times have you read a headline or a tweet and then immediately shared it without really digging into it? We are living in the age of information overload, and our brains are trying to keep up in some pretty interesting ways. There is a phenomenon called Google effect or digital amnesia. Basically, instead of remembering the actual information, we start to remember where we can find that information. It's like your brain is creating mental filling system. Oh, I don't really need to remember that fact, but I need to remember where I saw it and where I can find it. In a study published Science magazine, participants who were told that information would be saved on computer were less likely to remember it compared to those who were told it would be erased. Our brains are outsourcing memory to other devices. Now, this isn't necessarily a bad thing. After all, why clutter your brain with information you can easily look up? But it does mean we might be developing more of a surface-level understanding of topics rather than deep knowledge. Alright, let's talk about emotions. You might think that social media with all its emojis and like buttons would make us emotional gurus. But the reality is that more complicated. And here is the thing. A huge part of how we understand and process emotions comes from face-to-face interactions. And we're talking about all those non-verbal cues, facial expressions, tone of voice, body language. And when we communicate online, we lose a lot of that information. A study from UCLA found that preteens who spent 5 days at camp without any screen time were significantly better at reading human emotions compared to kids who continued the regular media diet. It's like our empathy muscles aren't getting the same workout they used to. But it's not all that bad news. Social media also connects us with people and perspectives we might have never encountered otherwise. This exposure to diverse viewpoints and experiences can actually broaden our empathy in some ways. It's like our empathy is becoming more global, even if it might be struggling a bit on the individual level. Last but definitely not least, let's talk about something we all love but probably don't get enough of: sleep. If you have ever found yourself lying in bed because you're scrolling through your feed, you are not alone. I have been there too. First off, there is a blue light issue. Our phones, tablets, and computers all emit blue light, which can mess with your body's natural sleep-wake cycle. It's like our brain is getting mixed signals. The blue light is saying, hey, it's daytime, stay awake, while clock is saying, go to sleep. But it's not just about light. The content you consume on social media can be pretty stimulating. Maybe you saw a post that made you angry, or you got into a heated debate in the comments. Now, your brain is still fired up when it should be winding down. Remember, social media is a tool, and like any other tool, it's all about how you use it. Use it mindfully and your brain will thank you. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content on personal development. See you next time!